Abigail Sullivan, and I am the Programs Librarian here at the Harris-Elmore and Genoa Libraries. Thank you all for joining us this evening. The goal of tonight is to become educated about the candidates and issues we will see on the Ottawa County ballots in November. We all will have the opportunity to hear from the candidates and representatives speaking about the issues. All candidates on the Ottawa County ballot were invited to participate, as well as representatives supporting local issues. I do not have everyone to speak on behalf of those, but I know Laura will speak on behalf of the villages. Township, thank you. Township issues. All right, all candidates and representatives will have 5 minutes to introduce themselves and speak on behalf of their campaign and position. After every candidate running for the position has spoken, there will be a short opportunity for question and answer. We did speak about this, but is not live streamed on Facebook. This video will be uploaded to Facebook tomorrow, as well as our YouTube channel, so then you can share it from there. And if anybody has any questions, they can be fielded within the comment section. I've shared tonight's outline with everyone. Feel free to use this outline as a guide for our conversation this evening. I did mention this as well, but on your ballots you'll see 2 state issues. Issue 1 related to abortion and other reproductive issues, and Issue 2 relating to the regulation, legalization, and taxation of adult cannabis use. I have printed legal analyses by the Ohio Attorney General on both of these issues, and they can be found up here on the table. Feel free to take any of that information home. You will also see 2 proposed tax levies on the ballots. I have printed sample ballots for each district, and I encourage you to take those home as well. Okay, we can go ahead and get started. We did switch things around a little bit, and we're going to have the council member candidates go first. And up first we have William Paper. I will mention that there are 3 candidates running with 2 open seats.
I'm a little nervous. Hi, I'm Bill. I know most everybody here. Thanks to the library. Thanks to everybody that had a hand in making this happen. I was born and raised in Elmore. I'm a Woodmore graduate. After Woodmore, I went on to the University of Toledo. I got a bachelor's degree in business administration, and I spent probably about 12 years as an Army officer in a variety of leadership and staff positions around the world. Along the way, I continued my education. I got a master's degree from Central Michigan University, and then went on and did executive education at Harvard Business School and John F. Kennedy School of Government at Harvard. I returned to Elmore in 2001, and I've lived here ever since. Today, I'm a small business owner. 2018, I started a little consulting company that I run right here in town. In addition, I'm an author. I've self-published 2 books on Amazon, both focused on helping military veterans and service members successfully make the transition from the military to the civilian employment world. I first served on Elmore Village Council in 2009. I was elected in 2013, appointed to fill an open seat in 2019, and then elected to the position I hold today. I currently serve as the chairman of the Planning and Economic Development Committee, and I'm honored to have been twice elected by my fellow council members as council president, position I hold today. I believe council members have 2 core jobs. One is to be a good steward of the taxpayer money, and the other is to look after the current and long-term vitality of the village. Further, I believe that balance is the key to making both of those work. The topics and tasks and opportunities and challenges that come before council are many, and I'm always focused on learning as much as I can about all the possibilities around each of the issues so we can make the most informed decisions possible. I ask a lot of questions. I dig deep into issues, I connect as many dots as possible, and I keep an open mind to all aspects of the matter at hand to ensure that whatever decisions council has to take on are done thoughtfully and in a balanced manner and based on as much robust information as possible. In my time on village council, I've written and gained consensus and approval for Elmore's scope, maybe next year, Elmore's first ever economic development strategic plan. I prepared and conducted extensive research to fully understand the regional water situation so council could make the most well-informed decisions possible in that regard. I was the primary author of the village's updated employee handbook. I created the process by which the village administrator was hired. I've been the primary lead for the Joint Economic Development District near the Turnpike Exchange. I've led extensive discussions and decisions regarding residential growth in the village. I wrote the landing page narrative on the village website. I've been the lead council member to help broker improve communications and operations between the police and fire departments. I've driven extensive discussions regarding the village's finances to ensure we are clear on income and expenses and that we remain in a positive fiscal position. I've been a balancing voice, ensuring that employee pay and benefits are attractive for our employees, appropriate for the markets, and within our budget realities. And I've acted and continue to act and participate in various county, regional, and state forums to sing Elmore's praises and stay abreast of emerging opportunities. I'm proud of the work I've done. I'm honored to be a representative of our community, and I'm humbled by the support I've received from so many constituents. I seek re-election because I have the passion, the experience, and the ability to serve our community. And I'm asking for your vote so I can continue to help make Elmore the best it can possibly be today and tomorrow for our residents, businesses, and visitors. So thank you all. I appreciate it. I guess questions are later.
After all candidates have spoken for the position.
I do have to say, I have to go to work. I have to be at work at 7. So I'm going to be here as long as I possibly can. Thank you all.
Thank you. Okay, I will now ask Zachary Floro to come up and join us.
Hi everyone, I'm Zach Floro. I'd like to thank the library also for giving us the opportunity tonight to come together as a community. I am a graduate of Winmore back in 2005. I graduated from Defiance College in 2009. I played 4 years of football there and earned a degree in education and sports management. I went on to the University of Findlay to get my master's in education administration. Currently, I work for the Ottawa County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and I've been there since 2019. I've been fortunate and thankful to have the experiences that I have on council. In 2016 is when I started my journey on council. I started out as a street committee chairperson, and then I worked with the economic development, and now I am currently on personnel. Each one of those committees definitely has made me think differently. There's a lot that goes into each one of those committees. Things that, you've got to take into consideration with what the public says and then also what our employees say. So you try to find the right balance and make the best decision. I volunteer my time with the high school football team down here at Woodmore, and also I am a part of the Elmore Parks Board Committee. I've got to give a shout out to my wife Tasha, who's a teacher now at Woodmore, and my kids Mac and Brielle. We are at the United Methodist Church here. I think it's really important that we continue to invest and also reinvest in local businesses and our school district. I think we also need to make sure that we preserve our Elmore charm. I think it's very important that we continue to see our tax dollars at work within our community. The reason why I want to be on council again and rerun is I think there are still short-term goals and long-term goals that I'd like to see that need to be fulfilled. I think we've got a commitment to being financially responsible. I'd like to think that I've got a great working relationship with employees and department heads. I think relationship in our small community is a huge thing. I think it's very important to continue to listen and truly value community members, their opinions and ideas. And then the last thing I've got really is, an influential person of mine always said, do what's best for Elmore with every decision and never ever have a personal agenda. And I think that is the absolute truth. So I'd like your support, and again, I appreciate all of you for taking the time today to come out, and again, for the library for hosting this. Thank you all.
Okay, now I invite Emily Holland-Feller up. And I will ask all three candidates to come back up, just in case we do want to field some questions, so you all three are up here.
Good evening, and thanks again to the library for putting on this event. My name is Emily Howland-Feller, and I'm running for Elmore Village Council. So I guess I'll start by telling you a little bit about myself. I'm not originally from Elmore, but I was born and raised in Oregon, Ohio, which is not far. And I was very much charmed by Elmore when we were looking to buy a house back in 2018. I am a third grade teacher at Jerusalem Elementary, which is not very far. I also teach at the Toledo Museum of Art, and I am a foster parent to an amazing special needs little man. And about 5 years ago, we bought a house in Elmore across from the downtown, and we've put our heart and soul into remodeling it and fixing it up, restoring it to its former glory. And that's what I think I can bring to Elmore, is a strong work ethic and a vision for what's possible. I have a deep respect for our village and its resources. We spend hours at the parks, riding on the bike path and walking the river when it's nice out. And my main goal for being on council would just be to help ensure that those areas are maintained and safe for the future. I also think that the local businesses are the heart and soul of the community. And if I were elected to council, I would do everything I can to make sure that they're supported. Finally, I'd like to help push for some more inclusivity within our community for children and adults who have special needs. I know on my block alone, I have 2 children that have special needs, and I want them to grow up in a community where they feel welcomed and loved and celebrated. And whether that be working to push for our parks and our common areas to be more accessible for people with special needs, I think that could be something that I could help with. And I want to help foster a culture of community in Elmore and provide more opportunities for family enjoyment. The last thing I want to say is I'm not a politician. You can see I'm a little nervous. I'm sorry. But I am coming into this with only good intentions. I'm just a mom who wants what's best for her family and for your families. So I appreciate you listening, and I hope that I will win your vote for council this fall. Thank you.
I'm going to have the candidates rejoin us up here. And if anyone in the audience has any questions for our candidates.
I do.
Go ahead.
My question is for the current councilman and the mayor. Recently, attending a trustee meeting, we were told that the village has gotten a bid for regional planning. And I think there's been a lot of support for regional planning. Both Bill and I know a few years ago being on the JED, what a difference that would have made at that time. And of course, it just lingered until now. Unfortunately, when the proposal was put together to seek funding and do the project, a particular figure for fire hydrants was included in that, never given to the township until the bid was sort of put together, and it was going to cost like $8,000 per hydrant times 8, which would have been about $60-some thousand, okay? Last week, the sanitary engineer came to the meeting with the bid, the actual bid. Now, they're going to cost $10,000, so it's $80,000. Now, when they came originally, the township had not been included in any financial discussions, okay? I believe the fire chief was asked where it would be good to put fire hydrants and all of that, which was important. But the finances were not there. And at the time, we thought, wow, have to come up with money right now, but it was delayed till next year. It's still $60,000 or $80,000 worth of money. Now the township or the village, in all the support, got grants and loans and whatever was out there, and more power to them. The more that we can use that money to bring things to Elmore, and again, that regional water, some people don't like it, but it does have economic potential. However, the surprise of a figure like that, we questioned, and it was told, well, there weren't grants for that now that you can't get them anymore, da 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 da. So here the township is stuck, having to sign a contract soon to agree to this without any financial support in this project. How much of a done deal it is, I don't know, but it's still kind of a questionable approach. My concern as a township resident is that I know the village is developing a Dishinger farm. You have, as Montrose has come in and done some studies of it. You have sent out questionnaires, including to township people who are electric buyers from your village, which is fine, filling out the little surveys and everything for that. If there's going to be costs like this, my concern is that you come to the township and you approach them with, here are some things we're looking at, these are some of the studies that you're going to want to share, and they're maybe priority items, I don't know, but that there's a discussion of this for two things that can be affected financially: fire service and EMS service. Okay, I don't think it's any secret that all squads all over are trying to get people to join. Okay, it's tough getting people to, make the calls and everything like that. Those numbers are down. And if there's going to be a development with more houses, more opportunities for fire and emergency services, that is going to be a cost on the township because it's township money that's providing. Yes, the village pays taxes in it too, but it's the township's budget that has to work with that. So my concern and what I'm asking for you to do as village representatives, that you work with the township when some of these items are being developed so that proper financing can be done and opportunities available. So that is I have as a major concern because it's my taxes paying for that too.
So let me start. Communication is the heart of the whole thing, right?
Yes.
And communication's got to be effective. There's two parts to all communication: the message being sent, the message being received, the quality of the communication that's coming out, and any clarification of any gaps that you're not getting, right? We have had multiple public hearings. Clearly the communication can be better. So that's something that's going to have to improve on the communication side of things. As far as the development of the Dishinger property, it's still being studied.
Mm-hmm.
There has not been yet a decision. My understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, is that there have been recurring discussions with the fire chief to talk about their ability to at least keep them updated on what's going on. I can't speak to what was communicated about the fire hydrants. I should be able to, but clearly the communication's got to go both ways. Because as you and I have seen, when we work better together,
Right.
everything works better.
But it's got to go not to just the fire chief. These are your administrative people.
Fair enough. No, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, that's got to improve.
We were approached by the county for the water. We only have the portion coming into the village that the village is in charge of also. The part they're feeding us from the tower to the village was the county.
I understand that, what you're saying now, but none of that was presented to the trustees prior to the thing being signed, and here's your bill, pay it out. Sign on the dotted line, here are the contracts a week ago.
Plus, the biggest piece that I also look at too in communication is this regional water is a county project. Anything in Dishinger Farm, that's an Elmore project. So we'll control that. So that you would, rest assured, you will actually be a vital part of that as a township.
But I think at the end of the day, where the improvement opportunity is relative to the village is, as we know, it should be shared. The legislative body, the legislative body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's fair enough, yeah.
Okay, does anyone else have any questions? Go ahead.
For the newcomer,
Yes.
have you conveyed any of your ideas or talked with any current council members or attended regular meetings to do that?
I have not, no. This is something that's new, and it's just something that I would like to try. And I know I'm a quick learner, and I think that I have really good ideas.
Anybody else? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you all.
Give this certain place you want to
Yeah.
be. All right, out to
Save the
bed.
best for last, right?
Okay, Village, go Tom.
Okay, up next we'll have candidates running for Harris Township Trustee. Looks like we have 3 candidates running with 1 seat open. So up first I have Gerald Carr.
Well, I'm Gerald Howard, actually everybody knows me as Jerry, so this is all new to me because I got elected back in 2000 for my first term as a trustee, and I've been trustee for ever since. So I've had a few things that I did while I was, even before I was a trustee. I joined the fire department in 1970. And I think probably everybody knows we used to have our fire station in where the town's got their offices now. So we had 2 doors to come out. One little one, we had a panel truck, and we had 3 other vehicles to come out that other door. So we managed for a while. Then I had an idea. We were getting I don't know what you call it, $100 a year. And then they raised it 300. So I thought, well, we're the pretty group that's pretty dedicated. I said, why don't we just need motors and get one of a box truck. Everybody called it a bread truck, but anyway, they went along with it. So we got a hold of Need Motors. We got a box truck. I think it was $12,000 that time. So that worked out pretty good because it made room for equipment and everything like that. So that was my first experience, is kind of doing something for the community. And the railroad took the rails out, and it came up that the railroad was going to sell the property. And I was looking at the parking lot on the west side of by the bowling alley there, and that'd make a good fire station spot. So I got with Tom Crow, Butler Building at the time. We went to the fathers, and they thought, that's a fine idea. So they went ahead with it. We had it surveyed, and we went ahead, and they bought the ground, and everything went fine. We bid the thing out, and in 1982, we dedicated a new fire station, which is the building we have right now. So then we got 5 trucks in there, and a couple of a pickup truck and an SUV for first responders. And then we had EMS was just in the building, so that progressed, and we had to make more room. So we added on 50 feet to the fire station for the EMS, and put a couple bedrooms in there. They wanted to stay all night, but that wasn't, I don't know, they didn't hardly ever use that. Now we passed the levy for the EMS 24/7. So now we have to get new people, and we have to have room for them to sleep so they can be comfortable. So we're in the process now trying to figure out how to do that. Either add on to the building, it's the primary idea, but otherwise we had another option, which is too much money. So we're still in the idea of getting that done. We gotta get something going on it, because that levy money will start coming in after the first of the year. The only problem with that, the people, we can't find people, because they want insurance, health insurance and that. Right now, we're working on a couple of things to try to get insurance for our full-time people. Laura here, she's really digging into all that. We threw that on her because she don't have anything else to do. So once we get that going, like, our fire chief or EMS chief, McGinnis, well, he works for Sandusky County full-time. So he's got a first-hand idea of getting people or people that are available, so he's working on that. So other than that, we got, the firemen just are getting 9 turnout gear, they call it. That's a coat, a pair of trousers, and a helmet. And the price for that is a little over $3,000 for each person. So we do get grants from the government sometimes. They got a grant for $5,000 to buy boots and gloves. But they ordered them too because the government says these things are only good for 10 years. I mean, they can stay on a shelf there for 5 years because, you know, people like us volunteers, it's not like Toledo, they use them every day. But the government says 10 years, just like now we gotta buy tires for all the trucks, 10 years. I mean, that comes to a lot of money, we have to figure out where that's coming from. But we do get government grants quite a few times, like the boots and that, they had a $5,000 grant for that. And we've got money for, they call a stimulus grant from the government when everything went to pieces. So we, Carol here, she decided, well, why don't we buy a pickup truck so people that are shut in, we can take groceries and stuff to them, and it'll be another unit for the EMS. So that passed, so we ended up getting that. And it's just things like that. We've got a budget meeting coming up, so we're gonna have to plug all this stuff in, like them fire hydrants that Carol took care of that for me.
Sorry.
No problem. But I will add to that, when the line comes in, they will have a tap for every house from 590 to Elmore. So if anybody wants to tap into that line, all they have to do is pay the tap fee, and they'll have to put the line into their house on their own. And the 2 subdivisions out there, Riverview and the other one, they will have a tap across the road with be available to them people want to add on for water. So that's another thing, and we've had a couple changes in employees. We got a new cemetery section and a new road superintendent, which I spend a lot of time with them because I've got the experience of for construction, and I worked for my grandfather building roads and bridges and things like that, so I kind of help them out on how to get things done. The South River Road, we've had problems with that. The river decided they want to get closer to the road, and then the road washes in. So we had 2 times we had to put, first time I wasn't a trustee, but the second time we had to move the road over and buy property and get that all done. That worked out. We had to close the road because we said something to the county. Everything we do, we have to go through the county. They think they know everything, so that's the way we gotta do it. But it worked out good because we got our property and moved the road over. Then we had a washout on out toward the last quarter mile before we got into Salem Township. The sewer going under the road was a 30-inch sewer. We had a cave in, and the county come out, well, you gotta fix that. And they said, well, we'll just figure it out. You can dig that road up, put a new sewer in. Kerry Johnson, new superintendent, and myself, we said, no way, we're not digging up that road. Because I knew, and he knew, that that road would settle for 100 years. So what we did, we got Unilines that did the work on the road. He come and give us an estimate on fixing it. It was around $30,000. So we talked to the county. Well, we want to look into this. We got another guy that has done all that. So he figured that all out, and they backed out of it. So they ended up eating crow, and they had to go back to Unilines to get them to do the job. So we just finished that up here a month ago. So everything's going fine, and we got budget work coming up, and that's going to be figure out what's going on, and about all I can tell you. Kind kinda nervous as hell, but,
You're doing good, but we gotta make some room for
thanks everybody for
next
coming.
event.
Vote for me if you think I'm gonna do the job.
Thank you. Thank you, Gerald. Up
You
next,
guys
we
are
have
next.
Donald Goldsby.
I'll join the nervous bunch because I'm not much on speaking either. But, anybody doesn't know me, my name's Don Goldsby. I'm from Elmore, born and raised. I did spend about 4 years down in Florida for in the early 80s building houses. I've been in construction my whole life. Graduated in 2017, and I took a job with Woodmore Local Schools back in 2018. I was the head of their maintenance and grounds supervisor, all the buildings in Woodville, here at the high school. We did several $1 million worth of roof repairs, 2 bathroom remodel jobs, built a new storage building in Woodville, maintained and bought several new lawnmowers and stuff like that, tractors, because maintenance programs are important, and they were lacking when I got there. So I was with them last year, 2022, I retired full-time last October, and I'm full-time retired now. So and I am currently on the board of public affairs, zoning board for the township. And I was Harris-Elmore Village zoning inspector for a short time back in the early 90s. Here again, nervous. I do believe in spending tax dollars wisely, support local business, and provide some new leadership going into the future. I would commend Jerry. He's been a great person for the township, on the fire department and the township for many, many years. I commend you for what you've done in your service.
Thank you.
And that's why, and I told my wife, I thought about running for this job several years now. And now that I'm fully retired, I feel like I can give 100% to it, and would have a lot to learn, I'm sure, which I'm more than happy to do. And I look for the opportunity to serve like Jerry has. So that's about all I've got to say.
Thank you. All right, and up next we have Ronald Diesel. Diesel.
Thanks for having me today. Thanks for the invite. My name is Ron Distel, and I'm a candidate for the position of Harris Township trustee. I've been married to Lynn Distel 48 years ago tomorrow. I reside at 2010 South Nissen Road, and I have lived there for over 30 years. I'm a retired certified master auto technician. I actually have 3 master certifications. I have a Ford Master, a GMC Master, and an Automotive Society of Engineers Master. I had the honor of being Community Post American Legion Post Commander for 10 years. I served in our country for 6 years in the United States Air Force. I did a full year tour of duty in Vietnam. In 2008, I was appointed by Judge Moon to the Ottawa County Veteran Service Office as Commissioner. I have been reappointed 2 additional times by Judge Winters. I'm the past president of the Ohio State Association of Veteran Service Commission Association, and I am currently the treasurer of that association. This year I'm also the chaplain for the Department of Ohio American Legion. At the request of late Mayor Crumnell and late Mayor Clare, I organized and processed the sesquicentennial parade. They thought they weren't going to have a parade. And they called me and they asked me if I could do it. We started with 54 units and 4 divisions. We ended up with 7 divisions and 76 units. So it really turned out very well, those of you who remember. I was personally responsible for bringing the Vietnam moving wall to Elmore. It was mentioned to me by Mayor Crumnell, who we were kind of buddies, and he said, "We've never had the moving wall or any wall here." I said, "Let me look into it." Well, I tried to get it one year and it didn't happen. So the next year they called me and they said, "We got an opening." So I personally sent them a check. It wasn't small. And then I went up about the fundraising business of that. And the police chief, I'm trying to think of his name right now.
George?
Hayes?
Hayes, thank you. He stood there counting the visitors that came in, and he said, Ron, Elmore's never seen this many people in 4 days. He was really, really proud, and we brought a lot of business to Elmore. I have, as Harris Township trustee, I have no personal agenda, none whatsoever. My only desire is to do what is proper for Harris Township's property, and what's proper for the Harris Township residents. And I would be a good steward of tax dollars, and I know that there's a lot of eyes in this presentation. But as you've heard, none of it was about me benefiting. It was about the community benefiting. And I will continue to do what is best for others, you, Harris Township residents, and with all that you request, and all that I'm requesting is that you vote for me on November 7th. Thank you.
Ronald, you can go ahead and stay up here, and I'll ask the other two candidates to come back up for questions. Yeah. Does anyone here in the audience have any questions for these candidates?
Same question for the two newcomers. Have you been attending regular trustee meetings, and have you presented any of your ideas to current trustees?
I went to last week's meeting. I was there till after the water, when the regional guys were there. I left shortly after that. I did not stay for all the rest of the bill paying part of it.
They start throwing tomatoes.
No, I did go to a village council meeting first, see how they did things, kind of compare notes a little bit. But other than that, I've just been reading online, doing some research as far as minutes from past meetings and that kind of thing.
I have been working for the Harris Township Cemetery for the past 20 months. I have been in contact with many of the trustees and the treasurer, and we've discussed many different things. I've fixed a lot of the equipment at a very minute cost, well, mostly just parts and an hourly wage, because I am a retired master technician.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay, up next I'm going to invite our current mayor, the village of Elmore. We have one candidate running with one seat open, Mr. Thomas Jackson. Thank you.
Good evening. I'd like to offset by thanking the library and Abigail for organizing this. This is a fantastic event that takes place prior to elections for quite some time now. It's been very successful, so I really appreciate everything you guys do to this.
Thank you.
As Abigail mentioned, my name is Tom Jackson. I'm the current mayor of Elmore, and I'm running to retain the position. For those of you who don't know much about me, I came to Elmore in 1994. I met my wife. We got married. She was born and raised here in Elmore and went to Woodmore. After serving 4 years in the Navy, I was honorably discharged from the military. Came and has been living here in Elmore ever since. So I'm going on 30 years. Elmore's home. It does it to me. It's a great community. I love it. We have raised 4 kids here. 2 of them have actually decided to plant their roots here. I have one that lives over on Jackson Street and one that's currently in the process of buying a house over on Smith Street. So I'm really excited to keep the family close. I've got 4 grandkids with 1 on the way. So this community means a lot to me, and I want to make sure that we continue to have a great community for future generations. One of the things that I looked at is from village councils. I've been serving on councils since 2014. I was appointed, and I have ran twice and got reelected in both times, and now I'm serving as the mayor after the untimely death of Rick Clare, so I took over Pete's position. I look at serving on council as a blessing because I want to try to make things really, really good for everybody. I think it's a great place. I would love to see it grow, but I never ever want it to lose its small town environment. This is a great place. As Carol mentioned in one of her questions about improving communication, once I became mayor, I started actually implementing the annual State of the Village letter that goes out just to let everybody know what's going on. I firmly believe in communication. Are we going to make mistakes? Yes. But having discussions like that, I think, is great. And having people that you can talk to and willing to work through those and figure out, okay, what's the best path moving forward is actually even better. So that's where my position is. I'm sorry we made the mistake, or the county made the mistake, I don't know, but I want to work forward with you guys. I think having a strong relationship between the township as well as the villages, it only makes us better. So, as Abigail mentioned, I am running unopposed, so, but I would appreciate your vote. Thank you very much.
Does anybody have any questions for Tom?
Thanks again.
Yeah, you're welcome, thank you.
Good luck.
You want to stand there a little while? Sorry. Okay, and last but not least, we have our current fiscal officer, Laura Hazel.
Hi, everybody. I'm Laura Hazel. While everybody that's presented ahead of me is all the legislative body, I am the financial body of the township. I am running unopposed. Some people tell me I'm doing a great job, and other people say nobody wants your job, or maybe it's just a combination of the two. But anyhow, I was appointed in 2017 and then had to run for my first half term for the years of 18 and 19, re-elected for the next 4 years, so this is my second full term. I love learning new things, and even though my background is in accounting and business management, every year, every day at the township is a challenge. There's always something new to learn. The government throws all kinds of things at you. I am a lifelong resident. I can't say that. I did move away for 1 year. I was going to say I do have over a decade, no, a half a century in Elmore, plus a little bit. My background, as I said, is in accounting and business management. I graduated with an associate's degree from Tara Community College. I've raised 5 children in the township and the village. Let's see what else. I was a volunteer for 5 years for Harris Township, which I enjoyed until COVID hit, and then I got a little too scared and didn't really want to do that. Plus, I tend to wear too many hats. So the fiscal officer for the village is my second job. My primary job is I work at a CPA office as a tax accountant. So ever since I graduated high school, I've pretty much been working in the accounting field, and that's basically where my background comes from. But like I said, I like to continue to learn new things. Let's see, what else can I say? Save your questions, email them to me, call me, don't ask me today under pressure, no, it's fine. But seriously, I like to educate, so if anybody has any questions at all, feel free to email or call. Even though I'm working during the day, I still tend to field those questions to whoever the appropriate person is, or try to do whatever I can. And I am up at the office most nights. And then, can I jump onto the levy part?
Absolutely.
Okay, we do have, I can't say a lot about this due to restrictions, but Harris Township does have a levy on the ballot this year. It is for the fire. It is a renewal levy for 5 years of 3.8 mils. It's going to cost a $100,000 homeowner $133 a year, and that is going to bring in $285,000 per year for the levy. So we would just appreciate your vote on that to renew the fire services. Any questions? Carol.
I have a compliment. Laura would never toot her own horn this way, but she has been through 3 audits that have been almost flawless.
I think they were flawless.
Okay, I was trying to be a little bit gentle. But
Management letters don't count.
for, someone to have that kind of reputation and deal with this crazy money that she has to deal with, there have been grants that for the fire truck and things like that that have to be balanced, and she's been a blessing to the township and the community.
Thanks, Mel. Let me just add on to that a little bit. Like I said, I like to educate. I think a lot of people are unaware that, and I'm sure the village is similar to this, but for the township side, I'm basically balancing a minimum of 7 checkbooks, because each levy has a separate fund that all the expenses and income have to be recorded under. Everything's separate, so we've got a general fund, we've got a motor vehicle fund, a gas tax fund, road fund, cemetery fund, fire fund, EMS fund, and then every single government grant gets its own special fund, and capital improvements get a special fund. So it's a lot of sets of books for a part-time job. Anybody else?
If you do ask a question, you're liable to get a reply about 1 o'clock in the morning. She spent a lot of time up there working for the township. Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome. Thank you, Laura. Okay, well, thank you all so much for joining us this evening, and I wish everyone the best in their campaign.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Thank you.